12 toxic thoughts you need to for a better life. This is really good stuff. One of my mottos is change your thinking, change your life. Boy, is that ever true. I'm a big believer that our thoughts and emotions shape our experiences. The problem is that most people aren't even aware of their negative thoughts. It's almost like they haven't just become a habit. They've just become a habit. So it seems normal to them. Here are 12 common toxic thoughts that you need to drop in order to have a better life now. Number 1, thinking that you're a victim. You're not a victim, so stop blaming other people or your circumstances for your problems. Just because you don't like where you are doesn't mean that you can't take personal responsibility to change it for the better. So get rid of that victim mentality because it doesn't help anything. It doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. It makes you a loser. In fact, it acts as an obstacle to success. Realize that you and only you are responsible for your destiny. 2, thinking that you can change other people. You cannot change other people. I had to learn this the hard way. There was a time in my life when I thought I could motivate and inspire people to be their best selves. It took me a while to realize that the only thing that can change other people is themselves. If they don't want to change or don't know how, then all of your efforts will be wasted. So don't worry about other people. If you don't like them as is and you have the choice to not hang out with them anymore, but you don't have the right to change them because you can't. It's one of the hardest things I had to learn. I wanted everybody to succeed. I wanted everybody to be, great. And I found out some people just aren't disciplined, or they're lazy, or they just, they don't care. They're okay with being mediocre. You can't help those people, but when you find motivated people, man, you work your tail off to help them become great. You mentor and model and coach them to greatness. Number 3, thoughts that constantly resist what is. Some things you can change. In fact, a lot of things you can change. You can lose weight. You can find a better job. You can go back to school. You can work on your marriage. But there are some things you can't change. Those things are simply what is. You can't change that your boss is a jerk. You can't change jobs, but you can't change jobs, but you can't change your boss. You can't change the fact that you have to pay rent or your mortgage, but you can stop resisting it. Resisting the unchangeable does nothing more than frustrate you and make you miserable. So change what you can and accept what you can't. And I don't mean that you should accept everything if it's bad. If it's not what you like, then change your behavior, change your environment, change jobs, change the relationships you have. Number 4, thinking that the grass is always greener on the other side. If only I was as pretty as that girl, then I'd be happy. If only I was as rich as that guy, then I'd be happy. Those kinds of thoughts aren't true. Just because you think someone else has it better than you doesn't mean they do. Maybe the pretty girl came from an abusive home and can't get her life in order. And maybe the rich guy spends so much time at work, he never gets to see his family. The grass is not greener on the other side. So appreciate the grass you have. It's your grass, so love it. In fact, a lot of times the grass on the other side has been fertilized with BS. Number 5, having expectations of other people. Expectations can be deadly to happiness, even if you think your expectation is reasonable, such as having your roommate or spouse do his or her share of the chores around the house. Just because you expect it doesn't mean they'll do it. Realize that your expectations come from your personal experiences and biases. They're not necessarily other people's priority. You probably don't like being expected to do things that you don't want to do, so don't impose your expectation on others. If you don't like their behavior, either accept it or move on. Number 6, thinking that having a significant other will complete you. If you are not a whole person already, then having a romantic partner will not make you whole. Plus, it puts a lot of pressure on the other person to make you happy. You need to be happy with yourself, with or without someone. Having a significant other doesn't make you happier. Only you can make yourself happy. Number 7, feeling that you always need to prove that you're right. I always wonder why people will fight to the death to prove that they're right. What's the point? I think it's because they don't want to look weak or vulnerable or stupid, but I think admitting you're wrong is a much more noble and mature thing to do. Besides, everyone has a different opinion, so why not have yours? And let them have theirs. Number 8, worrying about what other people think. This is a huge one. I see more people and become mediocre because of caring about what other people think of them. Why do you care? You think they're judging you? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. No one is judging you as much as you are judging yourself. Other people are too busy judging themselves, just like you, that they probably don't give you a second thought. So do what makes you happy. And others are judging you, then it's their problem, not yours. Ignore them and be happy anyways. What other people think of us is none of our business. Number 9, there's only one right and one wrong. We live in a world where we like to think that there is an objective, but guess what? Objective reality is an illusion. It does not exist. Only subjective realities do. What one person thinks is the truth is not the truth for someone else. Right. The Republicans or the Democrats? Well, it depends on who you ask, right? Everyone thinks something is right because it fits their life and the way they look at the world, and that's it, period, end of story. But the truth is, it's not. It depends on your belief system and your perspective. Look, there's a big Muslim problem, right? And in terms of Muslim, the fanatical Muslims that kill people and blow people up, right? They think they're right. They think what they're doing is that Allah demands it. They actually believe it. But you know what? I don't believe that. I think it's crazy. But it doesn't matter. When somebody believes what they believe it no matter what. So stop trying to change people's minds. You can't. Number 10, worrying about the future because you feel unprepared. I love this saying. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want. Let me repeat that. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want. And if you believe in the power of prayer, then you know that sending out thoughts and emotions into the universe or God or whatever your belief system works much of the time. So instead, be here in the now. Now is all you have. So be present and stop worrying about the future because you can only control it to a certain extent. In other words, if you want your future right now to be awesome, then you need to be awesome right now. You need to make sure you do everything you can in the now so that the future nows in your life become awesome. Number 11, thinking that money equals happiness. We believe in a capitalistic culture that values money and achievement. We think that people who have a lot of money are somehow better than those who don't. It's not true. It's simply, absolutely not true. I'm sure there are plenty of happy monks in the world who probably don't hold a dollar to their names, or someone working at McDonald's may be really happy while some billionaires aren't. So don't fall into the trap of thinking you have to be rich to be happy. It simply isn't true. Money is nice. Believe me, it's very, very nice, but it doesn't make you happy. It only makes you more of what you already are. So if you're a miserable person, you're going to be a miserable person with a lot of money. Only you can do that. Only you can make yourself happy. Number 12, believing that the past determines your future. Just because you came from a poor family, I did, or made mistakes in the past, I did, does not mean that you can't make your future better. If you have labeled yourself as a failure because of your past, then you will only continue your failure attitude into the future and continue to fail. And if you've heard of the self-fulfilling prophecy phenomenon, then you know what you think you become. So like I said in the opening paragraph, change your thinking, change your life. In other words, what we think about constantly, relentlessly, we ultimately always create in our physical reality. So you got to be very, very careful about what you're thinking about. I hope that this article has made you think long and hard about the toxic thoughts that probably go through your mind every day, and I bet you didn't even know it. So start paying attention to what you think, and when you catch your negative thoughts, hit cancel.